My name is Dominic Robinson, Service Area Director for CenterPoint Energy Houston Electric Distribution Power Delivery. Today at the Hurricane Workshop, I'll give you some information for preparing for a hurricane, how CenterPoint Energy will help to restore the service after an event, and also how we will communicate with our customers both before, during, and after an event. But to start off, a little information about CenterPoint Energy. So who is CenterPoint Energy? We're the electrical distribution system servicing Houston and the greater Houston area. We have approximately 2.3 million customers that we service, from as far north as Greens Point up into the Woodlands, down south to Galveston and Freeport, west to Katy, and far east beyond Baytown. As you see from the map behind me, that's about a 5,000 mile square radius. That's quite a few customers that we serve. We own and operate the wires and the poles that deliver electrical service to your home. We do not provide electrical service via a bill or send an invoice to you on a monthly basis, but we do transmit the electricity through our facilities. However, you may know CenterPoint Energy if you're one of our 1.some-odd million gas customers that receive natural gas service from CenterPoint Energy. For that, you will receive a bill. So what are the responsibilities of CenterPoint Energy? We're responsible for restoring service no matter who your retail provider is. So there's still a little bit of confusion about that. Texas deregulated in 2002, which split the distribution companies from the retail providers. Those are the companies that send you the bill. But regardless of who sends you an invoice and who you pay your electric bill to, CenterPoint Energy is the one that maintains the services for the poles, the wires, and the meters that deliver the service to your home. We are the only company that can restore the service during power outages via hurricanes, regular storms, or any other issues that cause you to have an interruption of your service. We have highly trained crews that during storms work day and night to restore your service and provide you the service you need to get back up and running. In preparing for outages, we also are utilizing technology and making vast investments to quickly identify and pinpoint problems within the system. How can you prepare for an approaching hurricane and its aftermath? First thing pre-storm, make a plan. CenterPoint Energy has an emergency operations plan in place for us to react and respond during and after a hurricane or any other event. We encourage every customer to do the same. Have a plan in place. But even the best plans need to have practice. And we do that practice on an annual basis with a hurricane drill. Everyone, or virtually everyone at CenterPoint Energy has an EOP role, even those who are outside operations. You may have someone that's a tax accountant, someone's in marketing, someone's outside doing other activities that still perform an EOP role. That tax accountant may come in and serve as a crew spokesperson for our crews while they're out restoring the service. They'll field questions from the public, which allows our crews to continue their activities to restore your service as quickly as possible. Another thing we have is some safety guidelines for both your electrical and your gas service. For your electrical appliances, we highly recommend that you unplug any of your sensitive sensitive equipment. They'll be your laptops, your flat screen TVs, some of your audio visual equipment. Unplug those from the walls to keep them safe. Because during an event, at some point, you will most likely have an interruption of service. It may be a few seconds, a few minutes, maybe even multiple weeks. Even the slightest interruption with some of the sensitive equipment may cause you to have issues. Therefore, we ask for you to unplug that equipment. We got a little bit of this other experience this last week when it comes to flooding. If you're in an area that's been identified for possible flooding or you know that it will flood, we ask you to turn the main breaker off at your electrical panel prior to the storm. This will help prevent you having any issues with your electrical service once the storm waters recede. Also, if you do have any type of damage to your home above the power outlets, please have a certified electrician take a look at that before you try to plug in service or plug in appliances to start service. A little safety on the natural gas front, do not turn off your meter. That meter is on and it provides pressure in your gas line throughout the storm. If you were to turn the meter off, it perhaps causes voids, which would allow water to get into the system, which you don't want to do. If you must turn off your appliances, we please ask that you turn those off at the wall with the shut-off valve. How long should you be prepared to be without power after a hurricane? This little chart here is a good rule of thumb we've used for some years. It bases the potential time that you can be without service based upon the category of the storm. So everything from a category 1 that may be a week to 10 days up to a category 5 that could be from 6 to 8 weeks. But much like the meteorologists were stating before, no two storms are alike. It's impossible for us to predict based upon the storm what impact we'll have, how much damage, how much outages we'll have, and how much equipment that we'll have that will be impacted. Also, it's impossible for us ahead of the storm to be able to determine how long those restoration times may be. So each and every storm is unique. How will CenterPoint Energy communicate outages and restorations with the public? We have a website, centerpointenergy.com/storm center. For that, you'll have year-round information from how to restore power, safety and precaution tips, recovery resources, frequently asked questions, links to Outage Tracker, which I'll talk about a little bit later, and link to weather services. When it comes to restoring power, just as I mentioned before, we have an energy emergency operations plan that we utilize. Not only is it our internal crews, we also have mutual aid and mutual assistance that we get from crews and utilities across the nation. Those crews come in to assist us with the restoration of service as we do the same for them should their areas be hit with any type of hurricane or other storm. We also bring in a number of contractors not only for line skills but also for support. When they come and doing caravans with equipment, you need to have mechanic experience and support. We need to have logistics for folks to sleep, to eat, everything from laundry service to again being able to know where to lodge. So it's a big endeavor that we do. One of the most crucial parts of restoration, however, is the very first after the storm is doing an assessment. Because without a good assessment, we can't determine how long that restoration effort may take. And also that assessment is very vital for us to be able to determine what crews are needed and where. If a job can be done with one crew, we want to send one crew. We don't want to spend two and you're not utilizing your resources appropriately. So that's a very important part. In a hurricane, we also have a dedicated URL for that hurricane. If you go on this same site right now, you see the last one was Hurricane Ike 2008. You'll see information about the storm, its development, its formation, its track, the damage that was incurred, how long it took for us to restore service, and how many customers were impacted. Should we get another storm, you will see that similar information on that page. It also has photos, videos, and other news-related information on that page. The next big technology is Outage Tracker. This is pretty much a bird's eye view of our service territory. The little triangles, I know it's kind of hard to see, but there's little triangles on the map. Those triangles represent outages. You can take your cursor and hover over those outages and give you detail as far as the nature of them and estimated restoration times. This is available on our website and the quick link, as I stated before, on the Outage Center. But there's also mobile applications for both Apple and Android devices that will allow you to track that over your phone. So that's very, very valuable. On a regular blue sky day such as today, you'll be able to look at all the outages within the service territory. If you look during the storm or after the storm, it would probably look a little bit different. Because of that very reason, during the storm, we moved to more of a multicolored and shaded map that detects the outages that we have, from a 1 to 3 day restoration to some of the longer restoration times. This is done by our substation distribution areas, which go over the service area. The red line, which again I think it might be a little bit difficult to see, is the track of Hurricane Ike. As you can tell, those areas that were closer to the path of the storm had typically had longer restoration times. That's because along the path, there's typically more damage. Therefore, more damage, more time to repair, longer time to get everybody up and running. But again, this is based upon a substation distribution map. We do have the ability to overlay a zip code map. So if you're in a certain zip code, you can overlay it to our Outage Tracker map to give you an idea of when your service may be restored. Even though our system doesn't totally align with the zip codes, it will give you a good idea as to when your service was restored. But we have several substations that feed into multiple zip codes. So sometimes it may be longer or shorter, just depending on the actual distribution route. Talked a little bit earlier about investment in technology. This next system improvement is really based upon information that was able to be obtained from both the smart meters and the intelligent grid. It's the Power Alert service. What Power Alert service does is anytime that your smart meter is without service, it sends a signal into the company. That signal for any outage over a few minutes can be sent directly to you by whatever means you choose. It'd be a telephone call, your mobile device, or a text. They'll let you know that the service is out. Not only does it let you know if the service is out, it gives you approximately how many customers are out, and later we'll give you an estimated restoration time. So even if you don't call in, we know that the service is out. When we arrive or do an assessment of the situation, it sends you another text to let you know we're on the job working to restore the service. Should we not be able to restore the service within that first estimated time of restoration, we'll send you an update. So a very valuable tool that you have at your leisure, right there in the palm of your hand with your smartphone. This also provides an excellent medium for us to send out blast messaging, letting you know information ahead of the storm. Again, going back to the other week's flooding activities along the Brazos and Colorado River, we were able to tell our customers that were engaged in Power Alert service to expect possible delays and possible outages. So anytime a storm is brewing and we know of that, it's another way for us to alert our customers to possible outages. Although it may not be used in the first time of the immediate storm, at some point we will be able to push that information out for individual restorations after the storm. That information can be obtained at CenterPointEnergy.com/Power Alert Services. One of the biggest changes since the last major storm we had was the emergence of social media. Social media today is, for a lot of folks, their main way of getting information. So we have a presence both on Twitter and in Facebook, along with our internal website. We'll be able to push messaging on Twitter and Facebook with updates, not just general updates. It can be down to the service center, and you have a means for going online to see exactly which one that may be. We can easily break it down to certain neighborhoods. Therefore, you would know based upon the hashtag that the service is being restored, we're making progress, or what the status of your restoration is in your actual area, which again pushes the information to the customer so you have it in your hands. The storm is over. What should you do to stay safe and prepare for power restoration? First of all, listen to our advisories and call us to report outages when we ask. Again, as I said before, we'll know immediately upon the storm that we have numerous outages, and we don't necessarily need to call to report all of those. Immediately after the storm, our system will tell us when those major services are out. We'll go out to assess those conditions and identify those outages. However, if you ever see down power lines or other electrical emergencies, be sure to call us. But most importantly, stay away from power lines. If you see power lines down, treat them all as energized, even if you feel they may not be energized. It's just too dangerous. If power lines are in water or along the fence, again, stay away from there. You don't want anything that may be conductive and transmit the electrical current to yourselves. Most and foremost, we want everyone to be safe. For natural gas safety, if you smell gas, leave the area immediately and call 911 as well as CenterPoint Energy. Again, do not attempt to turn the gas service on or off. Another big outcome of Ike was the numerous amount of wind damage that was done to customers' fences. And everybody wanted to get their fence fixed, and when you're digging those potholes or those post holes, you have the tendency to hit underground distribution lines, both electric and gas. For that very reason, please call 811. It's a free location services for all those utilities before digging. It makes everyone safe, keeps you safe, and prevents damage to the distribution system. You can always connect to us via the various websites, the backslashes of Storm Center, Outage Tracker, and Power Alert Services. Also, as I said before, social media has a bigger presence now more than ever on both Twitter, Facebook, and we have videos both on YouTube for various information as well as the workshop.